Well, hello everybody. I'm your host, Mario Caballero. This is the Puro Caballero Show, episode number 96. I typically will give a big intro, but we're just going to skip all that and get right to it. Yeah, the big news that I have to report, unfortunately, I got COVID some point last week. So, yeah, it's put quite a wrench into a lot of things. If you haven't seen me in a couple days being active, it's because of that. So, yeah, pretty much found out last Friday. I took the test right when I got back in Los Angeles. I took a couple tests, took one in the morning, one of the free clinic ones, and that result, it didn't come back until Sunday around 1 o'clock. So I had plans to go to Hard Summer for the weekend, and I knew I was going to be around a ton of different people. And so I decided to go ahead and get one of those rapid tests and just pay out of pocket to get that done. And I got the results 30 minutes later after I took the test and came back positive. So, yeah, man, that's why I've been at home pretty much since then, hanging out, not doing very much, running a little bit of, did a little bit of a stream last night. That was fucking fun. Thank you to everybody who showed up and dropped some subs. Big shout out to Valix. He came with the raid. We had a hype train going at one point. That was really fun, but first time that's ever happened on my channel. Appreciate you guys. But it's been tough, man. I think it's been tougher emotionally on me, mentally on me than it has been actually physically on me, because I've been, I guess, blessed to the point where I don't really have too many bad symptoms. You'll probably hear me be like all congested and stuffed up right now because as a result of that. That's been the biggest thing for me, because it felt initially like I had allergies because I was up in San Francisco, and also, so I was going from like San Francisco. I went up. So here's kind of what happened last week with my plans. I put together a little run of some shows to perform comedy at up in Northern California, because I had a job that I was working. It was a contract position, and it had just finished like about a week and a half ago, so like a couple Fridays ago. And so after the job, I drove all the way up to San Francisco, got to hang out with Coach Kitty Cat. Shout out to Amanda. Very cool people. So I got to hang out with her and my boy Frank. We went to SF Folsom 1015 or 1015 Folsom, whatever, that venue. I'd never been there before else. Cool little spot. And we saw Hot Since 82 perform. So that was pretty fun. Had a good night there. And then the next day, went over back to Stockton, the 209. Hung out with my family during the day. And then I had a comedy show at night. So shout out to Jimmy Menezes for helping me get that spot. That was really cool. Mike E. Winfield was the headliner on that show. We had a good time. Shout out to Glory Magana, I believe is her last name. But yeah, she was cool. Funny enough, my cousin Julian, I guess, used to work with her like 10 plus years ago, something like that. So it was kind of a small world. So I had a good show. I think my performance was so-so. To be honest, I'm kind of like critical, but I had a fun time. It was a little bit of an older crowd, kind of more of just like a local vibe of just like the people there in the neighborhood, because it was like the venue was a little bit out of the way. It's out in Turlock, but it was cool. It was a cool little spot. The venue was cool because it was right there next to the water that's right there. But yeah, that was a fun show. So I got to do that, and then I hung around in Stockton for a few days through the weekend. And I had a show like on that Tuesday and one on Wednesday over in San Francisco. So my plan was to just be out there in the Bay and just stick out there for a few days. So and then come back to Stockton and then run back to LA. Because yeah, that's kind of what the plan was. But unfortunately, it's not really what happened. Well, I guess it is what happened, but not exactly how I wanted it to. I don't know at one point or where I got the COVID, but at some point during my stay in San Francisco, I started feeling some symptoms. So I got to crashed one night with a friend, and like that's when I first started feeling congested and stuffed up and whatnot. So yeah, I'd like go to SF, perform the first night, drive around or whatever, have a good time, and then yeah, like the next day, Wednesday, I felt you have to excuse me. I felt like I had allergies, right? And I didn't know if my body was just trying to get used to the different weather and the different climates. Because, like, in Stockton, it was, like, in the 90s, 100s. It was really hot. And then going over to the Bay, it was, like, in the 70s. So it was, like, really, really chilly. Depending on how, like, the clouds were in the overcast. The first day I was out there, that Tuesday, it was pretty perfect. I'm not going to lie. We had a good time. I was chilling. Went and hung out with Spinurita. Shout out to Angela. Very, very cool people. So yeah, we smoked a lot of weed at the park and whatnot. But yeah, like the next day I started feeling some symptoms and did my comedy show later that night down in SF. That was a interesting one. The crowds weren't as big. It was kind of interesting. We didn't have as much foot traffic. There was like the baseball game. It was the Giants-Dodgers, so it's like that's the big rivalry, and everybody was at the ballpark. But the other thing too was that because the bars that we performed at were right next to Oracle Park, it's all the parking in the area was all taken up too, so that was real difficult to find shit. But man, crazy. So I was kind of feeling like a little out of it. I felt like I maybe had a little bit of a head cold, nothing too severe, nothing crazy symptoms. So I didn't necessarily assume that there was COVID that I had, right? So by day 3, like after I had driven from the Bay back to Stockton, saw my family, and then drove back to LA because I needed to be here last Friday. I had a gig DJing a comedy show with some friends of mine were throwing over in North Hollywood, so I had to cancel on them like day of when I found the result. But like I woke up that morning, like that Friday morning, just feeling a little concerned just because I was like, fuck, like I have this ticket to this music festival this weekend. I really want to go. I'm excited for it. I'm making plans for it and everything. But like if like in the back of my mind I was like, shit, if I had COVID, like that's gonna be horrible. Like on my psyche and just it'd be hard for me to sleep at night just knowing I would expose like hundreds and thousands of people to this damn virus without even knowing it 100% too. So I figured let me take this into my own hands, and sure enough ended up tested positive. So that's where I'm at. Everybody's been checking in on me, asking me how I'm feeling. I'm fine for the most part physically. You can see me just maybe haven't gotten as much sunlight in the last couple of days. That's about it. But yeah, it's no joke, man. I'm double vaccinated with the Pfizer vaccine as of like late April. I've been joking about it. I got the shot on 4/20, so that was my second shot, and yeah, I'd been fine up until then. Man, tested so many damn times for this fucking virus, and now I fucking got it. So damn, it is what it is. Yeah, I've been lucky that in the fact that I haven't had too many crazy symptoms. Like I said, I haven't lost my taste or my sense of smell. I've been eating some spicy ass food every single day just to make sure that I'm not losing it. So yeah, thank you, Grandma, for giving me that stuff. But yeah, man, I was like really, really concerned about spreading it to the people who I was around. I ended up crashing a night at staying with Frank like Wednesday night before I went back to Stockton. And so all concerned about him. He tested negative from what I heard, or I think he was getting a test. The next day I came in, was with my family for a little bit, saw my grandma. I think she's getting tested. Was with her. I was with my parents. My mom got tested and she got negative. I think my dad's waiting for his results back, which I think should be the same. I ended up going to hang out with VJ, aka Supreme Kai, who's like my co-producer on the comedy shows that we're putting together. So we're working on a lineup and flyers and promotion for that show that we're gonna drop and announce soon. He hasn't hit me up about the flyer information. He was supposed to get that to me today. So VJ, if you're watching this, yeah, just let me know. Send me a message. But yeah, so that whole thing we're working on making a different production company, which I'll talk about a little bit. But yeah, man, not the best way I want to introduce it with this whole story, but so we're working on the logo and all that stuff and different ideas and designing everything. And then so I exposed him, and I was over at his parents' house or his dad's house, and I was in this, like, not too far away from him as well. So I'm like, shit, did I get his family sick? So VJ got tested and he's negative, so like that's the good news. And he was the one I was closest to over there, so like I think I'm good on that front. So far has been so good. My cousins who I saw earlier in the weekend, they also tested negative, so that's good. So I got it at some point between like maybe my last day in Stockton or my first day in San Francisco, because that's like I started getting the symptoms, I guess, fairly quick. Like, but it just felt like a normal head cold. Like, you know, sometimes you go from one temperature climate to another temperature climate, and you just body takes a minute to adjust. Like, that's just kind of how it felt to me. So anyway, that's kind of what it is. Crazy, man. I'm so happy that nobody else has gotten sick off of this, but man, I was very disappointed. I've had to cancel a lot of plans. Number one, going to Hard Summer. I really wanted to go party with a lot of friends that I hadn't seen in a minute. Shout out to, and then some of them I have seen or whatever, but I was going to go see, shout out to Henry and Melissa. I was going to see them. I was going to run into, Jared Resendez and his girl Katie. They were very kind because I was looking for a place to stay that was a lot closer than the hotel situation that I had. I had an Airbnb and a hotel cancel on me like within like 2 weeks of the, like a week of the show. Week and a half, 2 weeks, and I was so mad. But yeah, I ended up canceling the hotel. He had another hotel room that was closer, so I was gonna be able to grab that one and then crash with a friend of theirs the second night. So that was the plan. Thank God Jared was able to cancel all that shit, so we didn't get it billed or whatnot. So that part of it was handled. I also got fortunately put my ticket up, and so I was able to sell it. I guess the sale's pending, it says, or the payment's pending, so I haven't gotten the money for it, but I lost a little bit. But at the very least, I didn't lose the whole money I put in for it, because I think I put like 180, 190 or something like that for the 2-day ticket, and I ended up selling it for like 160. So I mean, it's not the best, not the most ideal price, but like also I wasn't planning on selling it until I fucking got that test. So yeah, I'm happy I didn't lose everything with that shit. But so I had to change that plans. Damn, who else was gonna see? Mitchell Lamar I was gonna see on Sunday. Very funny comic. Book him. Go see him if you haven't. In Los Angeles. So who else was gonna be there? Maybe Ernesto Ledesma. You hit me up saying he was thinking about going. I was just like, shit, bro. I wish, man. I wish I could be there. I don't think he ended up going anyway, but that would have been cool. Yeah, I'm missing. Lil Sassily. Shout out to Lil Sassily on Twitch. She was there, and I was gonna link up with her. That would have been fucking cool. I know she saw Craze. I saw her Instagram stories. Yeah, it was tough. I had to like try to stay off of Instagram the last couple of days, just keep myself busy, because I just keep seeing the recap videos and all this shit, and I get a lot of FOMO, and I'm like, fuck, I get down about it again. Man, yeah, so I had like plans to go like meet and link up with people and whatnot, but it just didn't happen. So Hard Summer off the books. I was really excited. There was a lot of good acts that I wanted to see there, so now I'm I don't know, maybe I'll consider going to Cross Festival now, because I was thinking I probably wouldn't go. I might go do some other stuff too. I might just try to invest some money and just go travel. Or like I said, I'm still waiting on the ticket for the Beyond Wonderland at the Gorge shit to see if I got that, because that'd be cool. So go up to Pacific Northwest, so chill up in Seattle and go through Portland maybe. But yeah, man, I am fucking sick and tired of this road and shit, man. This shit is fucking bunk, man. Like, this sucks. I was dodging and dipping and all that shit this whole fucking time, you know what I'm saying? On my defensive, trying not to get this stuff. And lo and behold, I got it. So, hey, man, even sometimes your best efforts, you can't avoid it. So, I don't know. A lot of second guessing, a lot of woulda, coulda, shoulda type of thoughts I have right now, but can't really change the past. And it sucks too, because like, I love my mom. I gotta preface this whole spiel, but she gives me anxiety sometimes with the way that she talks about stuff. If like things happen, she's very much like, I told you so, or you should have done this, and like second guessing. She's very much a very good second guesser. So she's been calling me and checking in on me all the time, and it's just like, she's just like, well, you should have worn the mask more, and you should have maybe done the N95 or had the medical one instead of the cloth, or what. And I'm like, I don't want to hear it. Like, really, not the mood to hear it. Like, shit happened. Yeah, she's always the one like after the fact that'll let you know like what should have happened or what you should have done. It's just like, you have like once in 100-year flood, and she'll just be like, well, we should have thought about insurance. You know, it's like, all right, come on now. Like, like shit, like chill. Shit happened. So, yeah, but that's kind of how it is, man. I'm glad that nobody else has gotten sick, though. That's just, so people have been checking in on me. Thank you so much for the text messages and the DMs or whatnot, because I haven't really told too many people, and now this is gonna go up all my social medias, so like everybody will know. But yeah, man, your boy got COVID, so a lot of my plans had to get canceled. Like I said, Hard Summer had to be canceled. I had to DJ. I was going to DJ that Big Chillin' comedy show up in North Hollywood. So shout out to Roger and shout out to Jonathan for putting those shows together. They looked fun. I had FOMO for that too, because I was like, fuck, I wish I could be there and provide some tunes and whatnot. And yeah, and just like supporting good comedy and whatnot too. But yeah, that was just another work opportunity that I had missed. And then this upcoming week, I was supposed to do my first shifts as one of the hosts for the Pasadena Comedy open mic spot. So shout out to Zhao Yang Summers and Jen. I think I forget her last name. Just met her recently, but the cool people. They run the spot. So yeah, I was gonna be one of the hosts out there, and I was going to be posting about it. And I had a shift scheduled for tomorrow, for Tuesday, and one on Thursday as well, just to get a couple of shifts in and kind of get the feel and hang of it. But, yeah, man. Crazy. So I had to cancel all that shit. And now I'm like really concerned, because I really hope I get over this within like a week or so, because I got plans for the next weekend, and I don't want to have to cancel those either, if I can help it. Because I think at this point, like once I get to next weekend, it'll be around the 10 days or so mark. So as long as I can test negative sometime between now and maybe like Saturday, I think I should be okay. Because this Sunday I got ticket to go see Mr. Carmack over at Academy for the day trip. Like Patio, like their series, their daytime series shit. So I wanted to really go see Carmack. I really wanted to go see him at Hard Summer, but shit happens. It looked like he had a real fun time. I saw him post up on Instagram. Dude, it's like every single act that I had like in Instagram post was just like, Hard Summer was the fucking best. Thank you so much. This was one of the funnest times. I had an epic time, etc., etc. I'm just like, fuck, man, I wish I could have been there. It's like fucking frustrating. Like, I would pull my hair out if I had any left. So So yeah, man, I just been going through the whole emotions, just the whole wave of everything, man. And I was excited, man. I was gonna go do ecstasy and mushrooms again, man. It was gonna be fun. Fuck, but yeah, that part I don't know if I'm gonna put on my Instagram, but hey, I said it. Whatever. Yeah, man, it's been tough. It's been tough emotionally. Like I said, just a lot of concern and worry about getting all those other people sick. So far so good, and yeah, let's hope for the best. I'm gonna knock on this wooden table right now just to make sure that's do my part, I guess. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Superstitions, man. But yeah, man, this shit's real. I think the fact that I am double vaccinated probably helped with my symptoms, making sure that they're, pretty mild. And I think it might have helped also limit the spread. This is just my conjecture, so I don't know. But because I ain't no damn scientist, and there's so much shit we still got to figure out about everything. So yeah, it's wild. People keep asking me if they know if I got the Delta variant or not, and I have no clue. Like, none of my tests specifically mention that, or they might not even looked. But yeah, both tests that I took, both the rapid one and the late one, the one that took a little longer for me to get the results, both of them came back positive. So I'm just like, for sure I had it. So it just sucks, man. Sucks. Yeah, I think Spinarita got tested too. I think she also mentioned that she was negative as well. So because I know she had plans for the weekend and all that stuff too. So I'm glad that was not ruined on my part, because I could have I would have. There was a lot of shit I had on my conscience. Freaking VJ was gonna go. It was out in Tahoe, hanging with friends and shit. I think I gave him the info that morning, but he got tested and was cool. So that's good. Yeah, man, it's wild. I know my little brother's probably not very thrilled about the fact that I got COVID, because he's supposed to be starting school back up in Cal State Fullerton. They've had back and forth a bunch of issues about getting people in classes and then not being able to and what have you. And a lot of people, when they're getting back into school, I just found out that a lot of them require negative tests. When I was getting a test today, it was a lot. There was a lot of people, and that's what the person working there mentioned. It was just like, oh yeah, a lot of people have to it's regulated now by their jobs. So yeah, my brother was just like, that would suck if he had to test positive and then couldn't go back to school, even though he's been chilling with my family for months, man. I know that could probably drive him crazy. So it's like he had just, he had his freshman year and was about to start his second year, sophomore year, and then COVID hit. And so, or I think the end of his freshman year, COVID hit. So it's like he didn't even get a full normal school year for college. So it sucks for him. But or was it sophomore? I can't even remember what year he's in now. Anyway, I'm getting old. So yeah, it sucks for him. I felt so bad. I saw both my grandmas too before, the day before I left. So I'm like, damn, I got both my grandmas exposed. My aunt, my cousin Angela, her little kid too. I'm like, little baby. It's like 1 year old or so. Maybe not even. Forget how old he is. Little cute little kid, little chunky kid, chunky cheeks. He was walking around my aunt's living room, just waddling around. Cute little guy. But yeah, I got them all exposed, and I was like, man, I did not feel good about it. So yeah, I got multiple plans into the future that I'm hoping, besides that Carmack show, that hope they can happen. What's happening, Los? What's happening, man? Yeah, welcome to the Puro Caballero show. Just kind of detailing everything that's been going on with my COVID situation. And yeah, man. The one thing that I'm really, really, really concerned about is this comedy show that I'm putting together on August the 10th. I guess I'll talk about it right now. It is going to be the first show that we're going to do at the Friend Bar in Silver Lake. So yeah, this place has had comedy before. I ended up, putting things together. Went to go see Morse Code and DJ Ivy for Morse Code's birthday. They did a little set there, which was fun. I saw Spaniarita there too. She was cool. But yeah, I was just talking to one of the guys running the bar, and he was just like, yeah, honestly, if you like, we're looking to do shows again, so hit us up. And like a week or two later, ended up talking to Taryn, who's one of the guys that books everything there. So yeah, we were able to get that date and get it locked in. And I wanted to make sure we do this show right the first time, because then we can show them that, like, hey, this is how we work, this is how we roll, and we can get this thing going and make it a consistent show. So excuse me. Woo. It's that vid, man. Goodness gracious. So yeah, the Friend Bar, August 10th, show will be at 8 p.m. And this is going to be the first edition of the Let's Be Friends comedy show at the Friend Bar. And it's going to be put on by our new production company called Out of Breath Productions. So yeah, that's the stuff that we were kind of working on. So anytime myself, Puro Caballero, aka Mario Caballero, is doing a show, I'm going to be putting that logo up on a flyer. Or anytime VJ wants to throw an event too, aka DJ Supreme Kai, if he wants to throw some shit, we got a little production company to put it together. So that was going to be our first show. And even though we've been putting on shows for maybe like 8-9 months now, since last November, that'll be the new banner that we put everything under. So I got a new Instagram page for it and everything. I'm gonna put the links up once I kind of get that all handled and sorted out. So that's yeah, man, that's the next wave, that's the next vibe. I'm very excited about this show. Thank you so much, everybody who's been a part of it. The lineup I can announce now. Our headliner will be Alex Hooper. You might have seen him he's got his own podcast, the Achilles Heel podcast. Very insightful. I would definitely recommend you check that out, especially if you're like a big fan of psychedelics like he is, and a big fan of he's got a lot of different interests. He's a cool cat. Seen him perform a few different times. So I got him as a headliner. Got my boy Tim Red on the show. Thank you once again for letting me be on your podcast, Tim. That is the Block is Hot Pod. Go check out my episode if you haven't seen it, or listen to it, I should say. It's on all streaming platforms. So Tim on the show. Got Emma Estrada, very hilarious comic friend of mine. So I'm happy to have her on another show. It's the second time we've been able to get her. Let me see who else I have. Nikki Fuchs. Yeah, Nikki, very hilarious comic. I believe originally out of Sacramento area, up NorCal. So she's down here. She's very hilarious. Seen her a couple times. Seen her at the Hike and Mike a few times. Shout out to Jessica for putting that together. But so yeah, Nikki on the show. Joe Mazzarani. Shout out to Joe. Very hilarious comic. And I feel like I might be missing somebody. Who we got? Alex, Emma, Nikki, Joe. Who am I missing? Oh, Noah Gottlieb. That's right. Noah G. Shout out to Noah. Yeah, and Tim. I don't want to say that's 6. That's everybody. So Noah Gottlieb, very hilarious comic as well. He's got some funny tunes. Brings a guitar up on stage. Not always, but let's see. I'm not no pressure on you, Noah, but yeah, man. I'm very excited about this show, putting this all together, and haven't even like introduced all the comics to like hey, we're part of the show yet. So I'm excited to do that. I was gonna put them in an Instagram group together today once I get the flyers all sorted out. But yeah, man. So the goal right now is to get healthy by before the 10th, so that I can actually be there in person for our opening show. You know what I mean? But the plan B is gonna have to be either, I guess there's a plan B and a plan C. But plan B would to just get another guest host that could, fill in for me just for this one time. It's to me, in my opinion, like that's not the way I want to do it, and it doesn't feel like if it's like my show, like I want to be there for it, like it's like the first one. Like if this was like something that we had done consistently, and I could like sleep a little easier, rest a little easier, knowing that we've got the groundworks and we've got this established. But if this is the first one, and like we don't hit it off correctly, then like in my mind, I'm gonna be upset about it, you know, because especially if there's like nothing I can do and I can't be there. So goal definitely to get healthy by August 10th, if not the 8th, so I can go to that Carmack show. But if the Carmack show doesn't happen, then like I can sell the ticket and I can live with that. But seeing him possibly at another time, it would suck, but you know, hey, I want to go. Freaking VJ's got a ticket to that shit, so like I really wanted to go hang out. Yeah, so that's kind of what's on the docket right now. I got some other plans coming up. Gonna be DJing a couple other more comedy shows later in the month, but I'll post about it on my Instagram page once we get more info, more details on where those are gonna be. But yeah, man, that's kind of my life right now. That's kind of the update. I know it's been about like 30 minutes of just me rambling and talking about COVID and how this shit's personally affected me. But, you know, it's on my mind, man. I'm glad I took a couple of days before I actually jumped on here to actually talk about it. Like, number one, my anxiety is a little bit like lower due to the fact that most people everybody's coming back negative so far. And then number two, I was just like totally emotionally wrapped up in it. Like I was really down on like trying to like not be depressed about it. It's difficult for somebody who's like battled depression before just to actively try not to be in that mindset. So yeah, man, I was just trying to stay distracted and, you know, safe and just hanging out here. Just watching a lot of sports on TV, watching some MLB games during the day, and there were some MMA fights on Saturday, which was pretty good, and got to watch the Four Color Zach stream on Saturday. That was a real good distraction for me. Obviously, preference would have been to be at the festival, but hey, you know, that's out of my control. So I know I've talked to a lot of different people who are like, man, I wouldn't have even taken that rapid test. I just would have just, you know, sucked it up and just kept going. But yeah, I think that mentality is what kind of got us into a lot of trouble to begin with. So, hey, man. So definitely go get vaxxed if you haven't. Like, I don't know what you're doing. Like, at this point, I don't know if I can convince you, but like, hey, like, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, it's fucking wild, man. It just trips me out because it's like you just don't know, you know, like where it came from and who was that person who just went into work and was like kind of feeling a little under the weather, but nothing too crazy, kind of like how I feel, and just like decided to try to gut through it, which under normal circumstances, for the most part, is not that the biggest of an issue, biggest a deal, unless you're slobbering all over everywhere, but yeah, not in today's climate, in today's, you know, society. This COVID shit was running shit, man. Fucking frustrating. Fucking frustrated, man. Anyway, should we talk about some normal shit? Some other stuff that's been going on? Because I do have some notes here. Let's see. There's some other shit going on in the world besides just me getting COVID and being depressed about it, right? Right? Oh, man. Let me see. Yeah. I had a great trip up to NorCal prior to that, man. And it was just like, it's like I can't have like too much fun. Like the universe has had to like put me on pause. Like, nah, son, you need to chill. Because I was having a good time, man. Doing comedy, seeing shows, going to shows. Like, fuck, man. Really down about that, but you know, shit happens. I was like putting money into like making a totem, which I never do. I've never made a totem before. I got like a ton of I got a couple signs and shit. It's pretty funny. I got a screaming toad meme, and then I got on the other side was a picture of me. So like you know, if you follow me on Instagram, it's my my profile picture, the little guy I got. Oh yeah, I got stickers too. Check it out. I got a bunch of stickers. I was giving them a bunch of them away and just plastering them up over in SF. And my plan was to go take a grip of these and just hand them out at the festival. But that plan went awry. So yeah, I got extra stickers. So if at any point in the future you do randomly come across me, ask me about these shit. Yeah, the plan was to give them out at like my comedy shows and at my whatever events I'm working. So I need to put in a new order because like I got 100 and now it's like it's less. I think there's maybe like 30 of these left. So yeah, if you got one of these, when I saw you up in NorCal, that's what's up, man. I know VJ, he posted one of them up in Tahoe, so that was what's up over the weekend over by Harris Casino. Thank you for that. I posted a bunch of them up by the ballpark in SF. I hope they're still there because I know like they take a lot of them down and they they do a good job of scrubbing that shit, but not all of them. So hey, hopefully a couple of them ended up making it. So yeah, my plan is to get the stickers out to people. So that's gonna be my new merch shit with the stickers. So yeah, man. If you see the ha-has come around you, yeah, man, give me a follow. If you see that shit in the wild, or like tag me in that shit. I'm trying to get like Mikey McKernan, man. That dude has stickers everywhere. But Mikey McKernan is not funny. Like he's got a ton of them, man. At every comedy venue, there's like a whole bunch of just like random places you'll just see it in the wild. Like, yeah, man. Good shit. Good shit. All right. What else? What else we want to talk about? Oh yeah, I've been watching a lot of Olympics. That shit's been going on too. A lot of cool shit. So yeah, just been trying to be distracted these last couple of days, man. But sports been going on. A lot of crazy shit. Hold on a second. Let me fix this. I got the TV going. I was watching Slovenia beat Germany in the Olympic basketball coverage. So that shit just finished. I want to say the men's basketball is coming up in a little bit. Where is it at? Multi-sport, yeah. Non-Olympic programming, yeah, whatever. When's the next one? Shit. When's the next one? Yeah, there's a men's basketball. Team USA knockout game against Spain. That's pretty crazy because Spain, they got upset a couple games and they got like a lower seed or some shit, and so they're playing them in a very contested matchup. Let's check out NBC. What's up with you? What's going on over here?
No response from.
All right, you're not listening. You're not hearing that. Yeah, what was the optimize button come up? All right, whatever. All right, cool. Now they're going to commercial. All right. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Yeah, a lot of shit's been popping off. Let's get into the sports discussion. Fuck it, man. I was just talking about this COVID shit, making me all sad and all that shit. What's going on, all three of us? How we doing? Yeah. NFL, man. NFL's coming back around. I'm glad that shit's gonna be up and running, but there's a lot of controversy going on. I guess I might as well continue talking about COVID shit. What else are we gonna fucking talk about? It's 2021. Yeah, man, a lot of players don't want to get vaccinated. And NFL's making it very tough on the regulations for like the people who don't want to get vaxxed to continue to have a job and work in the environment, because like they make the regulations so like you have to like get tested constantly. You have to wear masks. You have to like distance if you're not vaccinated. If you are vaccinated, then you can wear, you know, you can raw dog whatever the fuck you want to, right? In terms of NFL terms, I guess. But it's wild. It's wild shit. There's a lot of players who are like secretly kind of like really upset, and then some of them that are really public with it. I know Cole Beasley's one of the guys who's going crazy about it. I know DeAndre Hopkins is saying like he's got to maybe consider his future in the NFL if like he doesn't want to get vaxxed or whatnot. So yeah, man. There's a long history we've talked about of black people distrusting medicine given by them to the government, which I mean, very valid. So there's a whole that aspect of it. But yeah, man. Then there's like the whole like personal liberty, personal freedom play that I think Cole Beasley's doing of like, man, you can't force me to do shit that I don't want to do type of stuff. So fucking sucks, man. Yeah, so the NFL is doing what they can to like really promote getting the vax. And there's been a couple players I know, Ryan Tannehill was one of them, who's saying that like, yeah, like if they wouldn't have made it as difficult to be in the, you know, in the gym, be in the facilities, go to meetings and whatnot, if they wouldn't have made it as difficult, he probably wouldn't have gotten it. So but because he wanted to be there for the team and do as much as he can, especially being the quarterback, you know, you're like the captain of the team and whatnot, he decided to get vaccinated. So I just find that kind of shit kind of interesting, but it's wild, man. So a lot of the teams, they have like thresholds. I think it's like 80%, 85%, or it's like 70 to 80% of your roster has to get at least one of the vaccine shots for you to be eligible to like meet indoors and not have to do rapid testing all the time and what have you. So like they make the restrictions less and less the more people get vaccinated. And some of the teams are really lagging behind. I know one of them is the Washington football team, the WFT. Apparently they don't have very good numbers right now, and it's kind of crazy considering the fact that their head coach is Ron Rivera, right? Ron Rivera just last year finished his cancer treatment. So this is a guy who is immunocompromised, right? Like he does not have like the immune system necessary to fight stuff that's like the disease that is respiratory illness, right? So if he potentially gets this shit, it could be really bad for him. Because his body doesn't have the ability to fight it off as much as like a normal person. So he's immunocompromised, and his team had like the lowest percentage of players who were vaccinated. So I mean, like, do they just not give a fuck about their head coach that bad? Like, goddamn, I understand players' frustrations, but holy shit, man, like, trying to make this guy not live, like, fuck, bro. So that was pretty crazy. Prayers out to Ron Rivera. I really hope you stay COVID free. I mean, it's not fun. Like, it's not fun. I don't think anybody who got it ever was just like, yeah, I had a great time with it. But if anything, it's just negligible. But it causes you a lot of mental strife having this shit. I'm not gonna lie. Like, man, just mental gymnastics and shit. Just a lot of what if thoughts, and it's tough. It's tough. Shit happened, man. The past, and I can't change it. But still got to think that way. I don't know. I still do. I am my mom's son. I guess we are related. Yeah, other COVID news in the NFL. I know that the Minnesota Vikings had a little bit of an outbreak. They had one of their backup quarterbacks who tested positive. And because people aren't vaccinated, Kirk Cousins in particular, the starting quarterback of the team, he had to now go under quarantine for a longer period of time than he would have otherwise. So, like, there's like a lot of little stuff here. And like the NFL is putting the onus on these teams because they say that if they can't like reasonably have a game rescheduled, then, and it's like, if there's a game that doesn't happen because people have a COVID outbreak, it's going to result in a loss on the team who like made that an issue, right? So if you're the team who has the outbreak and you can't travel to another stadium to go play somebody, then you take a loss. It's not a rescheduled game. It's not, a forfeit or like a DQ. It's like a strict L on the season. So these guys are competitive as a motherfucker. So like, yeah, if you tell them you're going to lose game checks, you're going to lose, revenue from the stadium for the owners, you're going to lose all that stuff. You're going to lose a game itself on the standings that can affect playoff positioning. All that, you're going to lose all that shit. Then like the guys are like, oh, fuck. I handle my business, make sure my money's right. So I feel like that's what's happening with a lot of these guys. A lot of players are upset about that shit, the fact that they're putting the onus on them and the teams. But hey, man, it is what it is. This is unprecedented shit. Man, it's Olympic coverage going on. There's been a lot of criticism of this Olympic coverage. Oh, get it, Lyles, go baby, hell yeah, Team USA. Just watching the 200 meter men's heat. One of the opening round heats. Guy from the U.S. looks like came on top on that one. Yeah, heat 7. Yeah, there was a lot of people shitting on their coverage of the track and field shit, but before we go any further, let me put the light on in this room. Hold on one moment. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, my bad. Getting dark in here. Shit. I couldn't even see my camera. I had it on a different screen. But anyway. Where were we? Yeah, man. So that shit's happening. So you're probably going to see a lot more news and coverage of this shit as we get closer to the season as to like who is and who isn't vaccinated and whatnot. But yeah. NFL's coming one way or the other. And they're going to do their best to make sure like people are in the seats because, you know, one season of no fans, it had a different feel to it. And it sucks. And the NFL, they're looking at it the money wise. They're like, man, we lost a lot of projected income, so we got to get these people back up in there. And they got a couple new stadiums to go debut too, man. SoFi over here in LA. You got Legion Stadium over in Vegas with the Raiders, baby. So, yeah, man, we got new people. Got to go to these places and experience them for the first time. So, yeah, that's kind of it's in the works right now. So we'll see. We'll see when that shit gets back up and running. Hopefully, there's no craziness. Too much craziness. With this new variant, man, this is fucking people up, man. Yeah, man, people who had previously gotten it and had the antibodies are getting it again, and people like me getting vaccinated. They say I had a breakthrough case. People are vaccinated and still get COVID. Man, who would have thought that I'd get a breakthrough with COVID before I got a breakthrough with comedy, man. I thought I was going somewhere with this fucking stand-up shit, man. Apparently not. Apparently not far enough. But yeah. Anyway, what else? Yeah, like I said, I was watching a lot of baseball. When I go back home, I tend to watch a lot of baseball. My dad's a fan. My little brother's a real big fan, and they have the games on all the time. They also have just local MLB not a local MLB package, but they get the local games, so they get all the Giants and A's games. So that shit's just easy, just pull up on the TV. But it's easy background noise too. Man, both the Giants and the A's been killing it though. They've been doing well for themselves, and both made some moves during this busy MLB trade deadline that just passed last Friday. So that was a lot of big news. The A's, they picked up Sterling Marte. They gave up Jesus Luzardo, who had been demoted down to AAA. He was a live young arm who just last couple seasons just kind of lost a bit of a command, I guess. I don't know. His ERA kind of jumped quite a bit, and he didn't have. I don't know. Maybe the hitters kind of figured him out a little bit, but they traded him to the Marlins for Sterling Marte, who's going to be a rental for the rest of the season. But yeah, he plays very good defense in the outfield, and excuse me, it's another solid hitter. I think it'll help him stay competitive in the AL West, which is very. It's going to be tough. So them and the Astros right now, and I know the Mariners aren't too far off either, too. So yeah, that'll be tough. I know the A's are really in the thick of their wild card pursuit. So I want to say they're like 3 games back, 2 games back of the Astros right now, and they've been slowly trying to chase them. these last couple months. But they've been doing pretty well, keeping up pace. They had a good comeback win yesterday. So they got Sterling Marte. They got Andrew Chafin earlier, pitcher from the Chicago Cubs. This guy Chafin, you gotta look him up. He looks like a '70s baseball player that like you'd see on a Topps baseball card, right? Or whatever the hell the brand was back then. Man, he's got the bushy hair. He's got the big beard. He's a lefty. He's got the high socks with he's got the fake syrups. I'm sure if they had the real syrups, he'd rock that shit. But like, yeah, man, he's like a old school throwback looking type of guy. But he's a solid lefty reliever out of the pen. So that was a good pickup. He's had like an ERA under 2, which is real nice. So yeah, it's trying to think what else is going on. Andrew Chafin. So I also picked up Josh Harrison and Yan Gomes from the Nationals. So Nationals sold everybody. Nationals and the Cubs, man, they sold everybody out there. Cubs, they like the core of their team's gone. Rizzo got traded to the Yankees. Who else? Javi Baez got traded to the Mets to go play second base next to Lindor. He's like, this is the only guy I'll play second is next to Lindor because he's the homie. And he was like, all right, cool, we'll trade you there. Who else got let go? And then for the Giants, Chris Bryant comes across. Big acquisition, big pickup for them. They are trying to stay competitive. They're leading right now in the NL for overall record, which is kind of crazy. It's like a team kind of no one expected. And they're bringing it together, man. Like, they're a tough out, real competitive squad. And they've just been mashing a lot recently, and it's been coming from all over. Like, I don't think they have a 20 home run hitter on their whatchamacallit on their roster, but they got a bunch of guys that have like 10 to 15. So yeah, man, we'll see how that goes with the Giants. Hopefully they can keep it up, because like they got 2 hot teams right up on their tail. They got the Dodgers and the Padres, man. Those 2 really talented competitive ball clubs. And both of them made roster moves as well going into the second half of the season. The Dodgers made the biggest splash. They picked up 2 all-star players. They picked up Trey Turner and they picked up Max Scherzer, both from the Nationals. So that was a big haul for them. Yeah. Like I said, Nationals sold off a lot of their guys. I know Kyle Schwarber, who's still on the injured list, he got traded to the Red Sox. So, you know, his guys moving around all over the place. Astros added some bullpen relief. I know the White Sox picked up Craig Kimbrell from the Cubs, another guy that the Cubs sold off. Trying to think if there's anybody else in particular. But yeah, so a lot of the people who were in the competitive races, they ended up getting better and making moves. So we'll see how this goes. It'll be competitive. It's been hot. There's that playing game and whatnot, that one game playoff that a lot of teams are trying to avoid for the wild card and trying to win that division. So let's see if the Giants can finish the season strong, man. I hope that happens. Dodgers are just right there, man. And they're just the best team money can buy, man. They're kind of annoying. They just keep doing their shit. But damn. All right, what else? What else happened? There was some Olympics, like I mentioned. There's been a lot of NBA movement, too. I will talk about the Olympics, man. Caleb Dressel's been dominating shit. He's been killing it. So shout out to him. I think he had 5 gold medals. We'll have a different discussion and argument over why there's so many damn swimming events, but like, whatever, to each their own. You'll swim in different funky ways and different lengths. You know, I get the lengths part, but you know, strokes, whatever. We'll talk about it another time. Shout out to you, Caleb. Shout out to you. Yeah, man. Shout out to the homegirl, the Ecuadorian weightlifter who got a gold for her country yesterday. That shit was sick to see. the little Filipino weightlifter too. She got the first ever Filipino gold medal. Big shout out to all the Pinoy power out there. I see you. Congratulations, that's big. It's very big. What else? I've been watching a lot of random sports. Watching a lot of volleyball, a lot of handball. Always watch. Yeah, Team USA got knocked out of the indoor men's volleyball. That kind of sucked. And the women's did in the outdoor. I think they lost both indoor and outdoor, the beach volleyball, unfortunately. So, yeah, competitive. Watching some of the basketball, as I mentioned. Team USA, I think, plays in like an hour against Spain. That's going to be a competitive-ass matchup. Team USA lost their opening matchup to France, and everyone was freaking the fuck out, myself included. Just like, Jesus, this team going to lose to everybody. But they beat Iran. They beat, what else? The Czech Republic and like one other team, and ended up advancing. But now they got to play Spain. So Spain is the number 2 ranked team according to FIBA, excuse me. Yeah, number 2 international team after the U.S. So they had like a little bit of a disappointing run. I know they got upset by Slovenia, which Slovenia is just running through this tournament right now. Luka Doncic, this just in. He's really fucking good at basketball, and it almost doesn't matter who his teammates are. But yeah, Slovenia, it's like his teammates have stepped up in the last couple of games because they've been like forcing Luka to rely on them, and he has, and they've been bailing him out. They've been helping, doing their part. So shout out to them. They don't like their next best player is Goran Dragic, and he's not even there. His brother's there, Zoran Dragic. So he's been hitting some shots and making some plays for them. But yeah, man, Luka, he had 48 points in a game in like 30 minutes of action like a week ago. He's had almost triple doubles almost every game. He had like a 28, 7, and 7. Dude, they're playing FIBA rules. They're only playing 40 minutes. They don't play 48 like a traditional NBA game. So like the fact that he's putting up these numbers is pretty insane. And 48 points is like more points than he's ever scored for any time for the Mavericks. So like he did that in his first game. I think Oscar Schmidt is the only guy who scored more points in a Olympics game. He put up a 60-piece one time for Brazil, bro. Like, old school, bro. Oscar Schmidt. Yo, if you are a basketball head, look up Oscar Schmidt, because that dude was a legend who, like, nobody knew about. I would say probably the best guard who ever played and never got to the NBA. I'll say that. Like, he's on that level. Like, he had some legendary-ass stories doing some, like, crazy stuff. I know Kobe was like a big historian into like a lot of these international athletes who like never made the NBA and stuff. And Oscar Schmidt was one of those guys that he used to like, you know, rave about and stuff. You know, that's kind of like a if you know kind of guy. But yeah, Luka's doing shit that's rivaling him, man. So yeah, big ups. Big ups. Crazy shit. Oh my goodness. Yo, so women's weightlifting is for the super heavyweights. I'm like, oh my goodness, these are some big girls. Get it. Get that clean and snatch. There you go. Boom. Hit it. Nice. All the way there. Get that gold. Oh, got a bronze. All right. Well, you get something. Get you something. Who won this one? China? Oh man. Girl looking powerful. Oh yeah, she got the gold. Oh yeah. Yeah, what else has been happening? Yeah, there's been some upsets. Team USA, I know the women's soccer did not get, I don't know if they got a medal this year. It's so they got upset. The baseball has been kind of weird. There's been some funny clips, man. I'm kind of disappointed the Dominican team lost. They just lost to South Korea. South Korea scored like 3 runs in the bottom of the ninth to steal one from them. And oh my god, dude, they have so for the baseball in Japan, for where they have the pitchers, like the relief pitchers, when they come into the game. They don't do it like the U.S. where they just let them run out there. They have little bullpen carts where they just like have a guy manned on there, and they just bring the pitcher over to like near the mound. It's kind of unnecessary, but it's just kind of funny that like in Japan that's kind of their tradition of how they do it. But like the bullpen like cart, it's like shaped like a glove, so the guy just sits on like the glove itself, and the person driving, and it was freaking hilarious because they drove this like really fat ass looking pitcher out there one time, and he's just sitting there chilling. I'm like, damn, maybe he just should walk. They should get him to walk, man. Oh, it's funny. Pitchers are athletes. Oh man, crazy, funny shit. Yeah, they had this one guy named Jumbo. And he mashed this home run yesterday or like the day before that was off of the scoreboard, like the jumbotron at the center field. He hit it halfway up and was just like, fuck, he got all of that one. But this dude looked like he's like 400 pounds. He's just like, boom, smacked it and just like stood there and looked at the ball. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna walk this one off. Like, oh, crazy shit, man. So yeah, South Korea, the plucky Koreans, man, don't ever count them out. They made that ninth inning comeback. They got 3 runs on them, and ended up getting the win. It was like a lot of like stolen bases and slash hits and just like little bloop singles or whatnot. But they got it done, man. The run's a run, is a run is a run. So whether it's a home run or if it's sacrifice, a run is a run. So congrats to them. They advance. I think they're playing in the gold medal match, and then. Team USA lost to Japan. I think that happened today. So the Japanese and the Koreans will be battling it out for gold medal. The only reason that the baseball is in the Olympics and softball is because Japan is the host country. They asked for it, so because like that's their shit, that's their sport. So looks like they'll have a chance. Looks like they'll have a chance to do it. Yeah, man. What else has been happening? A lot of crazy shit in the Olympics. There was that old skeet shooter guy who won bronze. It was like the fan favorite, the guy with the mustache. Where was he from? Tunisia or something like that? Bigote. They called him Bigote in Rio because of his mustache. Hold on. Old. Yeah, man, hold on. Kuwait, that's right. Abdullah Al-Rashidi. Shout out to you, Abdullah. He's like 58 years old. I think his son was in the competition too. But yeah, he competed at Rio, but he wasn't able to rock his flag because the nation of Kuwait was banned. So he had to be there as an independent Olympic athlete, is what he said. Like technically, the fucking the rhetoric or whatever they call it. So yeah, so he was doing that shit. Shout out to him, Abdullah. He was a fan favorite. That was cool. Man, so they were just showing some like wrestling highlights, and like a guy from Cuba won the gold. Big surprise. Dude, the Cubans, if you were matched up against a Cuban in wrestling or in boxing, like good fucking luck. You're in for with your hands full, man. There was a boxing match that I saw the other day. There was yesterday I was watching it. This kid from Tulare. Oh my God, he had an amazing fight. He was boxing this Cuban guy who was like, they said the guy was 24, but like the Cuban, so like he might have been 32. Like who knows? Just looks hella young. But yeah, he won the fight though, man. He won it 2 rounds to 1. It's very competitive, close fight. I'm gonna look him up. Hold on a second. So he guaranteed himself a medal. So he's got, I guess for the boxing matches, they don't have a bronze medal matchup. So like if you just get to the semifinal round, they just give out 2 bronzes. So yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Richard Torres Jr. Shout out to Richard Torres Jr., bro. I was rooting for him heavy. Yeah, he got a win, man. He's 1 win away from getting to the gold medal match, so he needs to win 2 more fights. And yeah, he had a little bit of a cut over his eye too. I think they had a headbutt in the middle of the match. Yeah, these I always find it interesting, these boxing matches that are in the Olympics, because it's like only 3 rounds, 3 minutes, so it's very, very quick in and out. It can be controversial too. There's some interesting matchups yesterday. There was this one Russian dude who was just knocking everybody out, and he was boxing this British cat, this really long, really athletic dude who was doing a really good job of just jabbing him up and keeping distance. And he was fighting him very well, just like keeping on his he was on his bike. He was constantly moving, like did a good job of grabbing and clutching him when he came inside, because that other dude, the Russian fool, was just like looking to knock him out, and was just bringing him some power punches, but he couldn't land at anything, and he couldn't find him. He couldn't get a good job with his range. The other dude was lankier and had his distance control he used his jab and everything for distance control very well. Moved his head a lot too, so he didn't get touched up. Real good defensive boxer. So we'll see if those kind of guys become pro, how they end up turning out. Yeah, you see some of those Eastern European guys, they'll compete in like 3 or 4 different Olympics before they turn pro, and you're like, he's only boxed like 10 times professionally, and you're like, oh, okay, it's not too bad, you know. And he's like, all right, 10-0, whatever. He hasn't had that many appearances, and then it's just like they come out of nowhere like freaking Lomachenko, and you're like, oh shit! It doesn't matter how many fucking official fights you got. This guy is legit, man. Just been doing the amateurs for so long. So yeah, I mean, a lot of craziness. What else has happened? Oh, there was that young ass chick who set the world record in 100 meters. I want to say. Freestyle swimming for the women's from Team USA. Yeah, she was like 19 or 18 or something, 17, something like that. Congrats. What else? Oh, the whole controversy with Simone Biles. That's been a whole thing. It's been wild to watch, where Biles was in I think the team competition and was just like decided not to compete. She wasn't there mentally. She was having like some issues with her anxiety. And so this is a part of the story that hasn't been talked about too much, is that apparently in Tokyo it's very difficult for people to get their certain medication for like anxiety medication. And apparently she's like on Ritalin, and she's had been on Ritalin for a long period of her life, and she's, I guess, diagnosed ADHD from a young age. So she's somebody, I guess, who's like dependent upon Ritalin to kind of like make her life easier and to kind of do all that. So in Tokyo, apparently it is illegal for people to get prescribed Ritalin, which I can understand, like the history why, because I mean, there's a long history of the kamikaze pilots, I guess, being hooked up on methamphetamines and stimulants, and so I think the country's very sensitive about stimulants in that regard. So it's difficult for a lot of people to get, I guess it's illegal for them to get prescription for those type of medications for that particular symptom. So it sucks. It sucks. So in that regard, I don't think Simone Biles has had access to her Ritalin while she's been in Tokyo, and just not being able to deal with that anxiety and the ADHD or whatever is probably ate up at her. And with all the pressure that she had about like competing at these Olympics, the fact that as a gymnast, I think she's 24 years old. That's like considered really old for a gymnast to still be doing it, and be out there doing crazy flips or whatever, and like her legacy she's pretty bona fide at this point, regardless of what happened in this game. So, people were really tough on her for like pulling out and questioning her mental toughness and all this stuff, and like I kind of felt for her. Like if that whole situation with the Ritalin is actually 100% true and has been underreported on it, then like shame on everybody for like doing that shit, because I mean it sucks. It sucks to have to deal with that. I mean, there's a lot of arguments over how young you should be prescribing children with antidepressant medications and what have you. And there's some controversy and people will talk about it, but this is her life and that's what she uses to cope with it. So, I mean, I can't hate on someone for doing that. So if she says she's done it for a long period of time, then that means that she was doing it at her other competitions. So I'm sure that definitely helps her focus and what have you. But, you know, I don't know if it was Ritalin or if it was Adderall that she was prescribed with, but like regardless, yeah, it's a shitty situation. So like the media really fucking came down on her hard, but then there was a backlash to the backlash, and people were coming back and forth. So yeah, we wish her the best. Apparently she's gonna compete again in another different event. I want to say today or tomorrow. So apparently she's not completely gone from the whole Olympics. So a lot of people have been like lambasting her and just been talking about this whole situation. Let's see if we got a race here going on. What is this, the 800? I think this is the 800 meter men's race. 400 meter hurdles, excuse me. These guys got long ass legs, man. Their hurdles, guys who run the hurdles, man, guys and gals that run the hurdles, that is no joke. Clearing that shit. You gotta time out your steps and whatnot. Let's see here. Oh, this is the final. Who's in front? The Norwegian is in front right now. The American is right behind him. Damn, they're leading the pack. Oh, where are they at? They got to be towards the end of this race now. Oh, the American's catching the Norwegian. Oh no, he's pulling away. I think he's got it. Yep. Oh, American gets silver. Boom, boom, boom. Benjamin Warholm. Oh, new world record. Hey, breaks through his suit. Says, yes, I fucking did it. Wow, new 400 meter world record. That's congratulations. There's been a lot of world records been breaking. Olympic records. Oof. Oh my God. Yo, the 100 meter women's final. Dude, this Jamaica swept that shit. That was impressive. This chick set the new world record too. It was fucking impressive, man. And then what else? There was a guy from France, I think, won the 100 meters. Who won the 100 meters? It was like a small country. Men's Olympic. Who won? Italy. Marcel Jacobs from Italy. An Italian won the 100 meters. Crazy. Carly from the U.S. and DeGrasse from Canada came in second and third. So, yeah, man. Big shout out to you. Big shout out to you. So, there's your Olympic coverage. That's your update. I don't really have any other opinions on the matter. I'm getting kind of tired. What else happened? Some UFC fights, some MMA fights over the weekend. I know Uriah Hall lost his decision to Sean Strickland. But the big fight was in Bellator, man. There was that AJ McKee and Patricio Pitbull Ferrari. That was a title fight. I think a 145 pound. And man, that big shout out to AJ McKee, man. That guy came out blazing. Got it done in the first round. Got a submission. He basically almost knocked out Pitbull prior to it and was just landing him with some strikes. He dropped him and like waited for a second and then kept on and then started doing some follow punches. Pitbull defended it pretty well. He was out of it, but he was up against the cage. And then as soon as he saw him defending it, he just started going into like submission attempt. I want to say he went for a guillotine or like a head crank, and got him to fight it off for a little bit, and then eventually got him to he went unconscious for like a half a second, and eventually they called the fight, so he got it via submission, but he like almost knocked him out right before. So it was crazy, man. So McKee is now the new 145-pound Bellator champion. So big shout out to him. He's like a big prospect in the sport coming up. So I know a lot of people in the UFC probably looking at that name going like, this is probably a guy we can target into the future when he becomes a free agent, possibly. So we'll see when that happens. We'll see. But yeah, man. That was some good fights. I think there's some good UFC fights coming up on the docket. Let's see here. Oh yeah, next weekend, Derek Lewis and Cyril Gane for the interim heavyweight belt, which in my opinion probably shouldn't have been created. Why are we taking belts away from Francis Ngannou for? Like, it's not really necessary. But yeah, just let that man rest up and travel Cameroon and do what he wants to on the media tour. Let him do it for fucking 8 months if he wants to, man. Who cares, man? Heavyweights, like, they don't always fight like a lot of times throughout the year. And they might fight 2 or 3 times in a year, man. Like, chill. So yeah, Jose Aldo, Pedro Munoz, Vicente Luque, and Michael Chiesa. What else? We got Tisha Torres, Angela Hill, Song Yadong versus Casey Kenny. We got some good fights. See how those turn out. So yeah, that's the UFC news here. Oh yeah, I guess the last sport we'll talk about. We got some NBA news on the horizon. Free agency is today, which is crazy because like some of the guys are playing for like the Olympics, and they gotta be like dealing with all this free craziness with the free agency and whatnot. So let me see this NBA free agency tracker. Let's see. Agency 2021. Let's see here.
With a top-rated app that lets you deposit checks and transfer money anytime, anywhere, banking...
Nope. Sorry, Capital One. Not going to play your ads. All right, let's check this out. Lonzo Ball's going to Chicago via sign and trade. Mike Conley decided to re-sign with the Jazz on a 3-year deal. So I guess the Jazz have their core for the next few seasons. Yeah, he was banged up and they missed him. First year there was a little shaky, but last year he had some good success. Tim Hardaway Jr. going to re-sign with the Mavs on a 4-year deal. Okay. Heat acquire Kyle Lowry via sign and trade from Toronto. They give Jimmy Butler an extension, and Duncan Robinson got a new contract. I think Duncan Robinson's was like, what was it? 4 years, $90 million or something like that. 5 years, I don't know, somewhere around. It was like 18 a year. Chris Paul, he's re-signing with the Suns with a 4-year deal. I think that was very expected. Dougie McDermott, he's going to San Antonio on a 3-year deal, which I think they're also picking up Zach Collins too, who was the guy who kept getting hurt for Portland. So they're giving a flyer on him. Dwight Howard's going to go back to the Lakers, which is news. He's going to team up there once again with LeBron. And this time they got Russell Westbrook, and Anthony Davis. So like that'll be interesting roster. See what they do there. Let's see. Trevor Ariza, Kent Bazemore, and Wayne Ellington also going to the Lakers. So there's your cheap veteran shooters. There you go. Let's see. Alex Caruso, former Laker. Now he's going to Chicago. He signed a 4-year deal there. See, the New York Knicks signed Evan Fournier. They got Derrick Rose back, Nerlens Noel, and Alec Burks. So they signed all those guys. Trae Young looks like he's more than likely going to agree to a 5-year extension, max extension to stay with Atlanta. So he'll be down there running with the Young Hawks. And it looks like Blake Griffin agrees to a 1-year deal to run it back with the Nets. So he's going to be still doing that. Let's see here. What else? All right, Daniel Tice, the center, going to the Rockets via sign and trade. TJ McConnell going to Indiana. Will Barton going to the Nuggets. What else? Cameron Payne re-signing with the Phoenix Suns. 3 years, $19 million. It's kind of low, but like I think he's a guy who wants to get his money. Yeah, he's bounced around, so he deserves to get paid. He had a very good postseason last year. Jermichael Green going to the Nuggets. Furkan Korkmaz back to Philly. All right, now we're just getting into the weeds of shit. David Nwaba, the Rockets. PJ Tucker over to Miami. Corey Joseph to the Pistons. Torrey Craig to the Pacers. Jeff Green to the Nuggets. They have him at center. He's not a center. He's a forward. And Bobby Portis back to the Bucks. Mo Harkless going to the Sacramento Kings. Welcome to Sacramento, Mo. I think he could be a decent player. Alex Len signs to Sacramento. So I guess they re-signed him. Another big guy you can throw out there. Mike Muscala to the Thunder. Sterling Brown to the Mavericks. Trey Lyles to the Pistons. JaVale McGee to Phoenix. Ooh, okay, JaVale. JaVale signed that shit while he was with Team USA. What's up? Gorgie Jang over to Atlanta. Max Strus to Miami. Nicholas Batum. Oh, looks like he's going back to the Clippers. He had gotten some interest from some other teams I saw. Solomon Hill to the Atlanta Hawks. Again, end of the rotation guy. Austin Rivers back to the Nuggets. Dwayne Dedman to the Heat. Cody Zeller to Portland. Boban to the Mavericks. Back again. What else did we talk about? Garrett Temple to Pelicans. Devontae Graham to the Pelicans. All right, yeah, that's about it. That's I could have just not gone with the last 3 minutes of this whole discussion. But anyway, that's your most recent NBA update. So we had some stuff kind of being shaked around, but nothing super crazy. I think the biggest news is probably I want to say what the Lakers did, and then probably what Miami has done too. Lakers have kind of retooled their roster. This is kind of what you do when you got top heavy, two or three main guys on your team as your superstars. You got to fill it out with a lot of small contracts, veterans at the end of their career looking to put it together. And then a lot of times they want veterans anyway because those are typically players that they can trust in playoff type of positions. And, LeBron, when he got there, it was him and the baby Lakers, and now it's just the average age just cranked it right back up. So all those guys have pretty much got dealt or have been gone because now Kuzma's out of town. So it was interesting because the Sacramento Kings, because the NBA draft happened last week, and there was a whole discussion as to what the Sacramento was going to do because they have some interesting roster construction as it sits right now. They got De'Aaron Fox. They have Tyrese Halliburton, right? Those look like they're probably going to be their two guards moving forward. Buddy Hield is still on the team, and he's another guy who's needs to be shooting guard, but jacks up a lot of shots sometimes. So his numbers and his amount of minutes as he's played is kind of it's been so. And he's been moody about getting off the bench, coming off the bench and whatnot. So there's been a lot of rumors about him possibly moving. The rumor was him going to the Lakers for Kuzma and Montrezl Harrell. And that was the word that they were going to possibly do because Montrez, he had the ability to opt out of his contract and he decided to opt in so he can be a part of any one of these deals. So he ends up moving to Washington, D.C., along with Kuzma to go play for the Wizards. So they made that decision to move on from Russell Westbrook after season. So Russ, he's been on the move all over the place, jumping around. So Oklahoma to Houston to D.C. and now over to L.A. So now he's back home in Los Angeles. So yeah, man. What was I gonna say? It's funny because Russ is actually pretty cool with a good amount of comics, and he has one of his friends who he grew up with is a comic out here in LA, and he's an interesting cat. This guy, But anyway, one of the guys he's had on his lineups before is this guy is a Sacramento Kings fan. What's his name? Lance Woods. Yeah, Lance is funny. Lance is a funny guy. He's from Sacramento, and he's a huge King. He's come on the Sacramento Kings broadcast. That's how I first saw him. I was like, man, who's this comic guy? But he's cool. I never met him. I think I'll probably run into him at some point up there in NorCal. But yeah, man, he posted about it. He's just like, I don't know how to feel about this because Russ is it's like I want Russ to do good because like I fuck with him, but like I hate the Lakers. So it's like, is there any way that he can win but the Lakers lose somehow? He made some posts about that shit. I thought that was kind of funny. So yeah, Russ coming back to LA. Dude, the biggest amount of tea though that I saw that was fucking hilarious. The funniest part about it, this whole ordeal. So he's back in LA, right? There was like a little tidbit that was dropped in one of these like stories that like ESPN ran, where allegedly this isn't his first time trying to make it to LA to go back to live over here and play with a Southern California franchise, right, in the NBA. So apparently there was a time before Kawhi Leonard decided to go with the Clippers, right, where Russell Westbrook and Paul George are teammates on the Oklahoma City Thunder, right? So that's where they were. So they're on the team together. Apparently Russell calls up Kawhi and tells him just like, hey man, you know what would be really awesome, what would be really cool is if like the two of us teamed up and went to LA and like went with the Clippers, right? Like that'd be awesome. Like we both be coming home. I know you're from where's Riverside? No, it's not Riverside. That's where Paul George is from. Where is Kawhi Leonard from? Fresno? Is that right? Kawhi Leonard. Where did he grow up? So yeah, Kawhi's actually a free agent. He opted out, so I think he's gonna re-sign with the Clippers. That's the expectation. Yeah, Moreno Valley. Yeah, Riverside. I guess Riverside. Where's Paul George from? Hold on. So anyway. Oh yeah, he's from Fresno. Paul George from Fresno. Or Palmdale. Went to Palmdale. High school in Palmdale. He's born out there. Anyway. Right. Whatever. So it's crazy. So he calls him up on the phone, right? And just like, hey man, it'd be cool if we go play with each other, right? And Kawhi like takes that information, just like, all right, sure, yeah, okay, I'll let you know, man. Gets off the phone, picks up the phone again, calls Paul George and goes, yo man, your teammate Russ, he's trying to team up with me to go to Los Angeles to go play with the Clippers. Man, I would rather play with you than I would rather play with him. You know what I'm saying? So Kawhi ends up orchestrating the whole thing to get Paul George from the Oklahoma City Thunder and not Russell Westbrook. So like, I'm like, damn, that's cold-blooded, bro. The fact that he manipulated that whole situation. And eventually Russ got traded to Houston because like once that shit kind of backfired on him, it was just like, all right, fuck OKC, fuck the Thunder. We ain't doing this shit no more. So yeah, man, I thought that was kind of crazy, man. Fucking Kawhi Leonard just pulling the strings back here, doing it all, doing the most. So Kawhi's a bad dude, man. He's a bad dude. Cold-blooded, man. Cold-blooded. I was watching Dan Levitar talk about this earlier today with Amino Hassan and his whole crew for his new show. Man, that fool Kawhi is just like ruthless. Like he doesn't get enough media attention and shit like that because he's so quiet into himself and like nobody knows what the hell he's thinking. So but damn, man, like fuck. The fact that he went behind Russell's back and just said, "Nah, son, fuck off. I want your teammate, dude. Like, I want to go play with PG. This dude will defer to me and let me shoot it when I'm feeling it. He might pass the ball a little bit more and what have you." So I thought that shit was pretty wild. That's some NBA tea for you for the evening. Crazy. There's a lot of craziness has been going on. It's it's funny. Before it was what was it? They said the sidekicks switched teams. It was LeBron with Kyrie, and it was KD with Russ, and now it's Russ with LeBron, and it's Kyrie with KD over in Brooklyn. So yeah, we'll see how the Nets do next year. That's going to be an interesting matchup. We'll see how that happens. But yeah, man, that's about it. I think we're done with the show. About 90 minutes in. Thank you once again for tuning in on Twitch. Thank you so much for the people who are going to be watching this on YouTube after the fact. This has been episode number 96 of the Puro Caballero Show. We're getting to that triple digit mark. I was planning on having some more guests here and doing it face to face, but I guess that's going to have to wait a couple weeks and what have you. All right, so thank you so much for tuning into the Puro Caballero Show. As always, we are available to listen and watch on Twitch, YouTube, and anywhere you get your podcasts, including Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, where have you. So yeah, just go ahead and look that up. Give us some support. We very much need all of that as much as we can. Got to get the numbers up. That's how we do it. And so I will be in isolation probably until next week at some point. The Out of Breath Productions comedy shows at the Friend Bar titled the Let's Be Friend Comedy Show will be coming August 10th. That is the plan. I will be posting about that all up on my Instagram and my socials. You can follow me at Puro Caballero. That's PuroCaballero for all you gringos. Okay. All right. So trying to think if there's anything else. I'll be posting all my new comedy shit as soon as I get healthy, all up on there. And yeah, so be safe, get vaccinated, try to not get the vid. This Delta shit is fucking me up, man. I've been trying to avoid the Delta as much as possible in my life by number one being trying not to go to community college, number two moving out of the San Joaquin Delta area, and then number three trying to fucking stay vaccinated and all this shit. But it fucking got me. So anyway, different Deltas, but y'all know. Oh man, crazy Delta. Like there's Delta Airlines. The acronym was "Don't ever leave the airport." I feel like for the Delta variant, it's just, it doesn't ever leave the air. This damn virus, man. So anyway, shit happens, man. I got COVID. It can happen to anybody. So be safe and be cool, people. All right. Thank y'all so much. Y'all been fucking amazing. Y'all been awesome. And that's been episode 96 of the Puro Caballero Show. Thank you so much. Yee.